Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to Sneaker Stories. As always, I'm your host Chris Jack. Today, finally, these I.S.P.As arrived. A month later, I've been waiting for the shoe from Nike, but somehow got lost in the delivery system here locally in South Africa, but they made it. So without further ado, let's check them out. Alright, so the Overreact Flyknit from Nike ISPA. This particular pair caught my attention immediately just from a colorway perspective. It was really the upper that sold it for me. Wasn't too mad about the midsole on it at first, but it was interesting enough for me to pull the trigger on it and just kind of hope for the best on sneakers, and I lucked out on that. But before I get into this review itself, I really want to start off with the box over here because it is something quite remarkable that they've come up with, and it kind of explains what I.S.P.A is all about within the Nike sort of umbrella of different divisions that they have. But I.S.P.A is basically a division of Nike which focuses on reimagining shoes with current technologies and, you know, just kind of creating these lifestyle versions of particular shoes which are always a little bit left field. But the ethos behind it and what I.S.P.A stands for is improvise, scavenge, protect, and adapt. And they use all four of those things to create these shoes. So you can imagine, like, in this crazy little office space that they've got in Beaverton, Oregon, where they've just got scraps of material and they're trying new things and just kind of sticking a whole bunch of things together to create something cool. And that's, I mean, this pretty much sums up that pretty well in my opinion. But onto this box itself anyway, as you can see, it's kind of a completely bare bone box with a whole bunch of different details on it. A lot of it is just super weird. It's kind of difficult to decipher what's what. You do have the improvise, scavenge, protect, and adapt sticker done in a whole bunch of different languages. You've got the design by Beaverton, Oregon, USA sticker there. Then on the front, you've got the Nike ISPA logo, of course. Again, just with the wording there in a bunch of different languages. Item footwear quantity 01. This, I believe, is the dimensions of this particular box. This box is also 90% recycled. It actually says over here, this box is made from over 90% of recycled material. You've got a whole bunch of other little things on. You've even got the box manufacturer logo. I've never seen that before. That's OIA Global. I had to Google that just to make sure it wasn't something completely mythical. But that's pretty interesting that happened on there in Nike World Campus as well. And then on the back of the box, you got issue 0.01. I kind of think that might just be because it's the first drop of 2020. But certainly not the first I.S.P.A drop that we've seen from Nike itself. In fact, I.S.P.A was developed in 2018, so it's been sort of 2 years now in the mix. I want to just talk about the logo that you can see here that says I.S.P.A. It's basically pulled letters from different logos that Nike has for their silhouettes. The I is from the ever famous Air Max, the S is from the Nike Shox, the P is from the Presto, and last but not least, the A from the Vapor Max. Now, if you guys do have some time on your hands and you're keen to learn more about the I.S.P.A product and the whole entire range for 2020, they did do this incredible preview now, just typical of these lockdown times, where they previewed the entire collection live at ISPA.live, and they've recorded that now so you could go back and watch the whole sort of seminar that they did with all the different designers involved, which really gives you good insight and just a visual aspect of what goes into creating these things, why they created them, and so on and so forth. But I want to get onto the shoe itself. Many of you guys know the React foam technology, which came out probably about 2 years ago now as well, with some of the early ones, the Element 87, the Element 55, which were massive hits. It was a very, very comfortable foam technology, as most of you guys who will have a pair of that will know. But then things with React have kind of like dwindled. They've used the technology in some other kind of silhouettes as recently as the Air Force One. I think we saw a React version the other day. But this particular one, they've really taken that React technology to another level, pretty much by doubling it up in the midsole here than what you would usually get on something like an Element 87. So this particular pair, and at least in my opinion, was really designed around all-day comfort, you know, something really for the urban explorer. They make these kind of shoes for specific outputs. Some of them have like specific materials that are waterproof or really durable or really comfortable or really breathable, depending on what the sort of desired output is for them. But this one at a first look, as I mentioned earlier in the review, really caught my attention just with the detailing and the kind of scavenged pieces of fabric and things that they've overlaid to create create this incredible upper. And that's what really stood out for me. There's so many different colors, sort of multicolor rainbow effects going on here with these overlay panels in the upper, which really create quite a stylish shoe to me to some degree. They really do stand out, especially on foot. But let me dig into that upper a little bit further. So the entire upper is made of prime knit. It's a light bone colorway, which is the base layer of that. And then you do have those overlay pieces as well, which literally do just feel like bits of scraps that have been like just repurposed and put on there to add some structure to the heel section and the midfoot of the shoe. And then on the lateral and the medial sides, you do have a hit of neoprene here, just adding breathability to the shoe as well, just in case you're wondering if this was going to be a little bit hot on foot, just with all the layering effects that have gone on with it. And then towards the toe box, you do have an almost waterproof rubberized section as well. You do have a hit of 3M on a swoosh there as well, and that's pretty much stitched into the upper itself. Just below that, you do have a hit of this almost cream white and then that light bone color, basically just finishing that off with a whole bunch of different patterns, stitch patterns, all of that kind of stuff, which looks really good on this pair. And then moving towards the lacing system at the top here, this is something quite innovative that they've done. They've almost got this plasticky fused overlay, like hardened sections in the two eyelets on the medial side, and then you've got these sort of cords that come out there, which are attached to this sort of Velcro fastening system over here. This is quite a hard piece of rubber, but they have reinforced the upper with different padded areas just to reduce the amount of sort of hot spots that you would get if that was going to cause any irritation on your foot for all day wear. And then just up at the top of the tongue over here, you've got this weird sort of nylon padded sack with an I.S.P.A logo and a swoosh on it done in orange and white. This is not a press stud. I really don't know what the reason of this thing is. It's like a potpourri thing, but not, I don't know. I really don't know what this is, other than sort of just an aesthetical like addition to the top of the shoe. It does add like a cool little detail on it, so not mad at it, but just really don't understand what the point of that was. And then moving back towards the heel section of the shoe, you've also got sort of this dual layer pull system over here as a heel tab. This one's kind of like a bungee rope thing, which is done in orange, and then this is a beautiful textile which has been stitched over that bungee cord here in the back. So it's like really reinforced. It brings in a whole bunch of cool like texture and obviously coloration there as well. Now the midsole and outsole combination over here is obviously the most eye-catching part of this. Like some people really don't like the look of this. For me, I'm not bothered by it. I think like the whole shoe really works well together, having this completely out there upper, completely out there midsole. I don't know, it's like, it really just appeals to me. Like I think it looks really cool, and that's obviously done in this sort of light sort of sandy bone color as well. As mentioned earlier, the comfort on these things is incredible. There's probably about double the amount of normal React foam that you're getting from a normal sort of 87. I think I mentioned that. And then just flipping underneath the shoe just to show you the outsole of it, the same sort of weird geometries that you're getting with the midsole shaping follows through into that. And then they have got this reinforcement for durability purposes, I would assume, here in the toe and the heel section of the shoe, which is done in a slightly harder foam than what you've got in the normal React. I don't really know what that means for like durability, like basically just walking on React with nothing really sealed over that, but I think it's pretty good for over time. It's quite thick. I don't think it's going to wear down too much. And then one last detail, just in the heel, you do have the Nike swoosh, which has been sort of molded into that as well, just from a branding perspective. Talking about the comfort of these, as mentioned, these I'm pretty sure were made just to be like insanely comfortable, and to really maximize that, when you look inside the shoe, they've basically removed the strobel, which is that sort of hard surface that's stitched over the midsole material, and the insole of the shoe, which normally would come, just to basically give you as much direct contact with the React foam just underneath in the midsole onto your foot itself. And then just from a branding perspective in there, you also have the I.S.P.A logo with the improvise, scavenge, protect, and adapt terminology just listed aside. And then last but not least, just some very cool details on the shoe, which are often quite hard to see unless under certain lighting conditions. The swoosh here on this Velcro bit does have this very glossy and reflective nature to it. You've also got a 3M hit up here in the eyelet systems of the shoe on both sides, so there, and there. And then just up at the top over here, below that press stud, that's also a 3M hit. So you're getting a whole bunch of cool little reflective details that are going on here. I'm not entirely sure, but there might be some kind of reflective knit over there going on in the Flyknit of the shoe. I don't know if it's just the light in the room, but it's doing something cool with the upper here as well. Now from a sizing perspective on this particular pair, I went with a true size UK 9 for me, and they fit me absolutely perfectly. So I would definitely recommend following on with true to size on this particular pair if you are wanting to get a pair. From a price point, they were pretty pricey at 3,099 Rand, excluding the 250 Rand shipping that we have here in South Africa. I'm not sure what that's like in any other territories where you might be watching from, but It's still quite a pricey shoe. Are they worth it? I think, you know, just to have something this completely out there, and for me personally, having a pair from the I.S.P.A collection, which I really like, makes it completely worth it for me. I think it is an all-day comfort shoe. I think it is something that really stands out there from a design perspective. I'm absolutely loving what they're doing with this, and I'm looking forward to seeing more colorways and other models, of course, that are part of this full collection of I.S.P.A orientated models that are coming out this year. Make sure you do go check out that full preview link that I posted earlier at ispa.live to learn more about this whole project. There is clothing items as well, and there's also another colorway, which I think there are maybe just a few small sizes left, which is a black crimson colorway, which looks like that. But on the whole, if you guys do have any further questions on this particular pair, please let me know in the comment section below. But also let me know your thoughts on this particular model, if this is something that you guys would rock yourselves, or if they're just completely ugly to you. I'd love to know what you guys think of them as well. But that's it from me for today's review. If you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe right here for more content, early unboxings and review content down the line. But that's it from me. I'll catch you on the next one.